Ooh, this hangout is live on air. Ooh. Hey, everybody. Let me turn off my music. Ooh, I kind of wish I could keep it on. I don't want to be distracting. Hey, everyone. This is my first live hangout broadcast, and I know there were a few people that were planning to be live with me, and I don't see them. So maybe they'll pop on. Maybe. Oh. This is my first live hangout broadcast, and I know there were a few people that were planning to be live with me. All right. Pardon my technical glitches while I shut down myself live. Okay, good. Here I am. Sorry, I was hearing myself live. That's pretty intimidating. So as I was saying, maybe some people will pop on, or maybe this is just technically something I'll have to figure out for next week. That's okay, because this week we're all getting started. We're all learning what's going on here today. So thank you for tuning in. For those of you who don't know me, whether you're watching live on YouTube or Google Hangout right now, somewhere out in cyberspace, or whether you're watching this replay later, my name is Kristen Zegers, and I am all about helping you create a life that inspires you from the inside out. As a personal development coach with a background in feng shui and aromatherapy, my passion is to help to guide people beyond the blocks and the boundaries to a bold and beautiful life of your design. Because this is what I believe. I believe we live in these boxes. We've been put in these boxes by society, by our upbringing, by our own limiting thoughts. And this is keeping us from living our lives to our fullest potential. We were intended to experience joy and love and abundance and freedom in our lives. Sorry, I got crazy things popping up on my screen. And too often we've been giving our creative power away. We give it away to our jobs, to our children, to our relationships, to the expectations of others. And we do it in order to make money, to make peace, to make an impression, or to make it work out. Well, it's time for us to take our power back. And this means, what I mean is to take our creative life force energy. When we do that, we're more authentic in the world. We're more at peace, and we're whole. And let me tell you, from that place, we are far better equipped to do really meaningful work and to be better partners and better parents and better friends. I know this because I've been there. I went from an ambitious businesswoman in my late 20s to a stay-at-home mother of 3 in 3 years' time. I moved to the suburbs, I got the minivan, and I completely, hey, Christy! Okay. All right, girl, welcome. So I moved to the suburbs, got the minivan, and completely committed myself to my family and my home. When the kids got a little bit older, I gave a lot of my time and energy to their school and to my community. And, you know, by our world's perspective, I was living the American dream. But I had lost sight of my own dreams. My dreams of travel, my dreams of having a career again. And even more, I had lost touch with myself. Now, there was no going back to my life back in my 20s. So what did I even want now? Now, don't get me wrong, I was very happy and abundantly grateful for everything and everyone in my life, but I was disconnected from the essence of myself. I had surrendered to my roles, and I had lost touch with my spirit. Now, you may be able to relate to this, or you may think this all sounds a little out there, but let me tell you, this is how disconnection from self shows up in our lives. Whether you're a parent, an executive, out of work, getting divorced, graduating from college, whatever, a disconnection from yourself looks like frustration, boredom, feeling dissatisfied in your job or in your relationships. It shows up as just feeling something is missing. Maybe you're stressed out all the time. Maybe you drink a little too much wine. Maybe you're resentful towards your partner. Maybe you're overconsumed with your children's activities. As women, we are natural givers. It's part of our DNA. And let's be honest, we make everything happen. I was sitting around with a group of women in Circle a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about what the most stressful part of this time of year is for everybody. And the majority said it was creating a magical holiday for their family. And I'm willing to bet if we asked the men in our lives what the most stressful part of their life was this time of year, it wouldn't have to do with creating magical experiences. Women are creators. We can create life within our bodies. We create the layers and experiences and magic that makes life so enriching and beautiful. But also too often we give and we give and we give until our vessels are empty and we have nothing left. I used to talk about when my kids were younger, at the end of the summer, when they were all home from school and everything, that at the end of the summer, my bank account was overdrawn. And I'm not talking my money bank account. I was talking my spirit. I had given and given and given and been in service to everybody for so long without replenishing my own source, without connecting with myself and taking care of myself. And that's a shitty way to feel. I wasn't giving from a place of wholeness, and I wasn't tending to my own needs. And if we're not tending to our own needs, then how do we expect other people to meet our needs? Right? We have to teach people how to treat us. We have to take care of ourselves first. The generational pattern of guilt and shame and martyrdom comes into play here. We're in service to everyone else first, right? That's the way our moms or our grandmas used to do it. It reminds me of that scene from A Christmas Story when, the dad and the kids are sitting at the table and the mom is serving them dinner, and then somebody drops their fork and somebody needs the salt, and then dad wants seconds, and she's just frazzled, having worked so hard to create this meal and lay it out on the table, and by the time she sits down to eat her meal, it's cold. Well, things have shifted. That shit ain't gonna fly anymore. But this is the thing, it's up to us. The very first thing we need to do is get acquainted with ourselves right now, not reacquainted with our 25-year-old selves, unless you're 25. But we need to sit down and get quiet and get to know ourselves now. What makes us tick? What turns us on? What do we truly desire? And what inspires us? Your very, very best friend is living right inside you, and she is begging you to hang out. So that's what this Hangout series is all about. It's about getting to know her. I've set it up for us to meet once a week in December for a few reasons. One, this is a stressful time of year for many of us. It could be stressful because of holiday shopping and decorating, because of entertaining, overeating, overspending, undersleeping, loneliness, family relations, travel. There's all sorts of things that can cause stress for us this time of year. So it's a good time to check in. And we're wrapping up a year, and it's a good way to kind of set the groundwork for how we want to start the next year that's coming up right on the other side of all these holidays. So the second reason we're doing this every week in December is because showing up here every week is a commitment to yourself. It's 45 minutes max. Once a week, that's all about self-care. It's a gift. And the consistency of doing it every week is key. It's like going to the gym. You can't just go to the gym once and expect there to be change. You need that consistency. So that's why I've set it up. We've got 5 Wednesdays in the month of December. And so I set today up to be kind of an intro, to introduce you to me, and kind of some of the things that I believe in and what I stand for. And when I work with clients, I use a model that I call REAL. And that's where the name came from, rooting in the real you. It's an efficient way to look at different areas of your life and to see where you're feeling pretty good and which areas you want to see some improvement. So let's break it down. Next week, we're going to deal with the R in REAL, which is relationships. And this means relationships with your partners, with your kids, with your family, your friends, but most importantly, your relationship with yourself. The third week, we will deal with the E in REAL, which is energy. And in this session, we'll talk about your personal energy, your personal energy in your body, your health, your well-being, your level of vitality. A lot of times we get really run down this time of year, especially with the food and alcohol and lack of sleep and all those things I was talking about that come along with this season. We'll also talk about how you express yourself. How do you have fun and kind of let loose and have creative expression in your life? Super important. And the following week is the A in REAL, which is all about abundance. And abundance comes in many forms: money, opportunities, connections, love. So we'll talk about gratitude practice and ways to welcome more abundance into your life. And in the final week, we'll talk about the L in the REAL model, and that is life work. So whether you have a corporate job or you work in a charitable foundation or you're a full-time mama, our life work is the mark we make in the world, and we all have the power to really make a significant difference in the world through the work that we do. And we're going to dive into that in the last week. So I hope this sounds exciting and enticing to you. Christy, since you're the only one that's here live, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but if you have any questions, hopefully that was all clear. First of all, can you hear me okay? Is the video working? All the technical stuff is working okay? Awesome. So next I'm going to talk about the expectations and your role this month, because this is all about you. So I want to talk about what we're going to be doing, what you need to have, how you can be best prepared for these sessions. And this may be elementary to some of you, but for those of you who are new, or for any of us really, it's a good reminder. So you need to come here and be present for yourself. This is not a place to multitask. Whether you're here live or whether you're listening afterwards, I would love for you to grant yourself the time to really just sit and be present with this work. Take a few minutes before logging on to turn off your phone, to make sure you're comfortable, go to the bathroom, get a glass of water, light a candle maybe, kind of set the scene for this little date with yourself every week. Have everything you need ready so you're not distracted and running around. That's the first thing. Second thing is have a journal and a pen. Journaling is a big part of what I work, a big part of my practice and my practice with my clients. So I encourage you to write down your thoughts as we go through each session and really just let it free form flow out of you. We're not worried about spelling or grammar or, crafting a beautiful sentence here. Write it all out. It's taking the jumble of thoughts and words and ideas that pop into your head as I speak or as other people speak and getting them out of your head and onto paper. So it gives them form, it gives them life. And don't worry about if it's negative. Some of it may be negative, and that shit you really want to get out of your body, right? So, so it gets it out of your head and onto paper. And what that does is it creates space in your body. And in this space, this is something that we just don't grant ourselves anymore, that I really want to see us get back to. But when we create that space, that's where you get the messages from that little best friend of yours that's inside that's trying to tell you something that you normally can't hear because of all the noise. So it's clarity in your mind and in your heart. I'll also sometimes probably offer some journaling prompts, and we'll go through some of that through some of the activities. And so if you have your journal and your pen ready to go every week, then you'll be all set. The next thing I want to talk about is breathing. Christy, this is your area of expertise. Not for a lot of people, especially with stress. You notice when you're stressed, your breathing gets really shallow. It's here instead of your deep belly breathing. So we're going to be working with our breath a little bit through the series. Our breath is a way to bring that life force energy into our body. And this is something our essential self does without thinking about it, right? We don't think about breathing. It just happens. But when we bring awareness to our breath, it's a way to quiet the chatter in our mind and connect with our spirit. So I'll be talking about that each week through the different sessions. So yeah, I wrote down here in my notes, remember that this is our best friend who's waiting for us to show up. We'll play with this a little bit in a few minutes. I think I'm going to take you guys through like a guided visualization at the end. But for now, just notice the breath entering and exiting your body. Just notice. Good stuff. Okay. Lingo. So I do energy work and I use a lot of energy lingo, which you may or may not be familiar with. I'm going to say things like, let's drop in or let's drop out of your head. Many times when we're working with abstract subjects like spirit and energy, our minds kick in and start saying things like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is she talking about? This is so woo-woo. This is dumb. I'm hungry. What time is it? And these thoughts are like little elves running around in our head, right? A little seasonal image for you. They're like little elves that run around and they want you to stay in that little box because it's safe there. And you're protected in that box. It's totally okay to thank those elves for protecting you and for looking out for you, but you're in charge and you can put them in a timeout for a little bit so you can do this work. So when I say drop out of your head, that means quiet the elves. Focus on your breath. Notice what's happening inside your body and tune in to the noise, tune out the noise of your brain and the outside world and just focus on what's going on inside. And remember, you're connecting with that best friend. Like I mentioned a couple minutes ago, we'll probably do some meditation and visualization each week. This is a way to really integrate the work that we're doing. So if this is something new to you, don't be intimidated. You can't do it wrong. This is all for you. I'm going to walk you through it each time, and the only thing I can tell you is just be present. You'll notice those little elves saying stuff to you like you're doing this wrong, or when is this going to be over, and just hush them up and get present. Concentrate on your breath again. Keep an open mind. Your spirit is willing, you just need to quiet your brain. I also might talk about the chakra system, and for those of you that are not familiar with the chakra system, you'll learn some cool new stuff. I'm not really gonna teach about it. It's just, again, part of my lingo. So you'll just kind of absorb some of this information, but there's an energy system that runs down the center of your body called the chakra system. And we might do a little playing with that. Again, keep an open mind. Don't overthink it and just have fun. Like, you're here to learn and to grow and to nurture yourself. That's what this is all about. And that's really the next big thing. Like, have fun. Be playful with this. Be gentle with yourself. Negative self-talk is not invited to this party. It is a place for love and laughter and self-care. Remember, it's 45 minutes a week for you that you've set aside to do this. Set the guilt and the stress aside and be playfully present. Okay. Oh, I also want to declare this space, this is a safe place, okay? So this is a safe place for you to express yourself, whether you're on Hangout Live here with me and you want to share, or just in your own journal. I mean, that can be really uncomfortable to put your honest thoughts and feelings down on paper, but this is safe and it's okay. This is about finding your truth, and there's no sugarcoating it. Be real. And know that you're amongst people who have a team of elves in their own heads telling us what we should be doing and feeling. And so you're not alone. I'm just going to say that again. You're not alone. Your willingness to be open and honest with yourself is a gift to everyone, even on an energetic level. It's a gift to yourself, it's a gift to the people in your lives, and it's a gift to everybody who's showing up here to do this work for themselves and give themselves this gift. Okay, so that is all I have for housekeeping. I hope this sounds exciting and enticing for all of you. Check my notes here. Oh, okay. Does that all sound good to you, Christy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, hopefully you can hear me. My microphone muted for a second. Okay, so let's get quiet. Close your eyes. And I want you to, as I said, drop in for a second. Notice your breath coming in through your nose and into your body, and notice how your lungs and your belly expand when your breath comes in. And exhale through your nose again. Notice how the air is warm now coming out of your body. Just take a couple rounds of breath, noticing what's happening inside your body, and If those elves pop up or if you notice noises in your environment, just try to tune them out. Focus on what's happening inside. Now I want you to conjure up an image of yourself. And this is the highest version of yourself, this best friend, this spirit, this essential self that we've been talking about. And I want you to imagine that essential self being a pod, or like, you know, the bulbs that you plant in the fall, like a big seed. And imagine that it's laying on the floor in front of you. The shell, you know, it's not very beautiful, it's not very fancy or colorful, but inside that is the most beautiful, highest potential of you. And I want you just in your mind's eye to lean down with both hands and pick up that seed. And I want you to hold it to your heart. Take a couple breaths. Feel your air coming to your lungs. Feel your hands expand from your body, holding that imaginary seed to your chest. And tell yourself, your highest self, that you're here to reconnect with her again. And with all the love that you can muster radiating from your heart space, I want you to imagine that that seed is absorbed in that radiant beam of love that you're shooting out. It's absorbed into your body, and allow that little seed to take nest somewhere inside you. It could be right there in your heart space, right settled up right next to your heart. It could be lower by your solar plexus, kind of under your rib cage. Maybe it's down in your lower belly and your abdomen, where that little seed feels comfortable to sit and take up a new home for a little while. Take another breath and just imagine that with that breath, you're sending warm sunshine onto that seed and its new little home. And just imagine the joy and the happiness that that warmth provides your essential self, your spirit. Take one more deep breath. And then I invite you to slowly, whenever you're ready, open your eyes again. So the seed is planted, my friends. We will come back and visit her or him. I don't want to exclude any men from this practice. So hopefully I didn't offend. I welcome all, and I welcome you to share this video that is going to be on Google Plus and on YouTube with anyone that you think might like to participate in the rest of the series. It's going to be at 12:15, again, for the next 4 weeks, every Wednesday in December. Let me see. If you want to be live, like Christy, we're going to have in future weeks, we're going to have more interaction, as long as I can figure out the technical piece of that. I think that should be pretty easy. But if you want to show up live, that would be great. I would love, one of my core beliefs is that we have so much to learn from one another, and that's why I love group work. I love when other people can share their stories and their input, and it oftentimes leads us to think about things for ourselves that we might not have thought of. So there's a lot of benefit in sharing. So if that's something you want to participate in live, let me know. You can email me at kristenziegers@gmail.com or message me on Facebook. We will get you hooked up. We got plenty of space for people. And if I can support you in any way in the coming week, please let me know. That's what I'm here for. I'm happy to do that. And I encourage you to check me out online at kristenziegers.com. You can also find me on Facebook. I have my personal page, which is Kristen Conley Ziegers, and also my business page, which is Root, Bloom, and Soar on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram, Kristen Ziegers. I piddle around a little bit on Twitter, but that's not really my fave. So I'm not on there much. And like I said, please, please invite your friends to join or to watch the videos afterwards. They're all going to be recorded and available. And I think that's it. Christy, do you have any questions or input or feedback or anything you want to share?
No, thank you very much.
You're welcome, honey. Thank you for being here live. I like seeing all that nature in the background behind you. Like, you're kind of just a shadow.
I know, it depends on where the light is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I like it. Excellent. So what I would like to do is just kind of energetically close. And I want to just real quick take a breath and realize that right now it's only Christy and I here live. But I know I can see from my little counter thing that there are other people out there watching live. And I know that there are going to be other people watching this video. So I just want to, from my heart to yours, say thank you so much for being here, for listening to what I have to share, and mostly thank you for doing this for yourself. I really do believe that when that it all starts from within. And when we take care of ourselves and connect with the deepest essence of who we are, it raises our personal vibration, and that is like a ripple effect that spreads out to our family and to our communities and to our country and to our world. And that is what I want to see. I want to see the vibration of this entire planet raise, because we all really need it. And right now, 'tis the season, right? So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope to see you next week, 12:15. Next Wednesday. Thank you all. Peace.